Hi, I'm Liz Forbes, and in the 1970s my partner and I moved up to Cowichan Valley and we bought 20 acres on the Cowichan River and decided to do our back to the land thing. Well, you know how that usually turns out. What did turn out was a wonderful time, lots of memories, and I wrote a book called River Tales, Stories from My Cowichan Years. And today I'd like to read an excerpt from chapter 17 about raising chickens. And it's called Can't Get Enough of Those Chickens. And you need to know I loved my chickens. So here is my story. Chickens have few defenses against predators. Roosters can attack with their talons, but they're no match for the hunters that come in the dark. A good chicken house is essential to keep out night raiders such as mink, otter, raccoons, even rats in search of the fresh laid eggs. Fortunately, our chicken house was well designed thanks to the farmer who we had inherited it from. One end had a full-sized door with a latch that could be opened from either side. Inside to the left, at shoulder height, were sleeping perches for the chickens. To the right, 6 nest boxes where the hens laid their eggs. Above the boxes there was a big screened window with a pigeon loft, no longer needed following my failed pigeon experiment. At the far end of the hen house, at floor level, was a chicken-size opening with a sliding trap door above it that we could drop down to close the chickens in. The chickens automatically went to roost at dusk, and we dropped the trap door once darkness had set in. Our system for keeping the chickens safe was foolproof, except for one thing, the human factor. In other words, we had no problems until the night I forgot to close the trap door. In the middle of the night, I sat bolt upright, shocked out of sleep by a horrible racket, the screaming of chickens. I jumped out of bed and ran for my gumboots in their usual place by the back door, slipped them on, grabbed a flashlight, and raced out to the hen house. Once through the entry door, I saw a raccoon on the floor of the hen house with a chicken in its mouth. In a fury, and without thinking, I dropped the flashlight and used both hands to grab the raccoon by the scruff of its neck, then shook it until it dropped the hen. Only then, when the chicken was free, did I look down and realize that except for the gumboots, I was stark naked. The full extent of my predicament was not lost on me. I was standing in a small enclosed space wearing no clothes, holding a terrified and vicious animal. The main chicken house door had swung closed behind me, and the free hand I needed to lift the latch to open it was one of the hands hanging onto the raccoon. Bending down to shove the raccoon out the open trapdoor would bring it dangerously close to parts of my anatomy that I particularly did not want attacked. I knew that my flashlight, which was lying on the floor nearby, would make a good weapon for hitting the critter over the head, but picking it up, like lifting the door latch, required a free hand that I didn't have. I had to get rid of that raccoon fast while I still had it gripped in both hands. Because shaking it seemed to have stunned it when I'd first grabbed it, I gathered my courage, fear actually, and shook the raccoon as hard as I could, crouched down and stuffed it through the chicken house door, shrieking, "Get out!" as I half threw it out into the night. It didn't give me a backward glance. I shut the door securely, checked out the hen that had barely escaped becoming a midnight snack for the now vanished raccoon, and found her already settled back on her roost with the rest of the flock. I walked back across the field and home, adrenaline still pumping through my body. The raccoons gave our chicken house a wide berth for quite a while after that, and you really can't blame them.